What's up guys, welcome back to Joevestor Trades. My name is Joseph, and in today's video I'll show you guys exactly how to draw support and resistance. Support and resistance is a big part of technical analysis, and if you know how to draw it effectively, it can definitely make you a better trader. If you're going to enjoy this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more trading content like this. Also, if you want to be a part of a trading community where you can message me about anything, make sure to check out the Discord channel in the description down below. So now that we have the charts pulled up, the first thing I want to cover are the steps that I use for drawing support and resistance. Using these steps simplify the process, so I'll go over it right now as we have QS pulled up right here. So the first one that I always do is that I zoom out on the charts. When you zoom out on the chart, you get the bigger picture and you can see all of the price actioning that's happening. Right now I'm on the 4-hour 360 day. Typically when I'm trading, I use the 4-hour 180 day, but just for these examples, I'm going to use the 360 just to show you guys. And right here we can see that QS starts really moving right around here, so I'm going to zoom in a little bit to right here so that I can still see the price action. Step 2 is to identify my key areas and plot my lines. Now when I talk about key areas on the chart, I'm talking about swing highs, swing lows, and even a few areas where the stock starts to trade sideways for a little bit. So now I'm going to go over to my drawing tools and click this price level tool. And the first key area that I see on the chart is this swing high. As you can see, QS swings up here and then pulls back. So this right here can be a support area. The next level that I see is right here on the pullback. We get one right there. Another one I see is up here. Then we have another one over here. And also right around all-time highs, you'll always have one which is up there. Step 3 is to adjust your lines so that you can have the most touches. And I'll go over this right now with you guys. When you draw out support and resistance, sometimes it's not always going to be exactly at that peak. Sometimes you want to adjust your lines so that it touches more areas, so that it validates your support more. So right here on the bottom support line, we can see that there's only one swing low, so that's fine right there. The second line that I see touches my area right here, then also touches again when the stock pulled back. So this line is good as well. Now this third line I see needs a little bit of adjusting. We can see that we get our swing high over here, but when the stock retraces back up, we don't quite get that level, so I'm just going to move this down just a little bit so that it touches right there. Our next level up here looks pretty good as well. We can see the stock pulled back to this line, touched it right there, then retraced, and when it tested it for resistance, it touched it just fine. So these are the support levels on QS, and this is what I go about doing to mark out the levels. Another thing that I want to mention is that you can see that my chart is pretty clean. I only have the key levels marked out, and I don't have lines on every little price target on QS. When you keep your charts clean like this, it makes it very easy to trade and very simple. Another thing that I have to mention for the beginners is that when the stock is underneath the line is considered resistance, and when the stock is above the line is considered support. So right here, the stock is underneath the line, so this is resistance. Once it breaks above, now this line acts as support. We can see over here when the stock pulled back and landed right on this support line, which was previously resistance. Same thing over here and same over here. Now I have more examples that I'm going to go over. The next one is ARTC. So right here we have ARCT pulled up, and this one is actually pretty easy. If we zoom in just a little bit so that we can see everything a little closer, as I said before, you want to get that bigger picture so we can see everything that's happening with the chart. Now I'm going to go over to my price level tool, and the first swing low that I see on this chart is actually right around here. Then the next level that I see is right in this middle section. We can see that it touches it here and throughout the chart. Another level that I see is right around here, and we also have one right near all-time highs. So now that we have our levels plot out, now we can go back and adjust if need be. So this bottom line actually does need adjusting. We can see that we get this huge gap right there and there. So I'm actually going to move this support line up. Remember, we want to get the most touches. Right now the line is only touched once, but if we move it up, now it's touched 4 times. We get the wick right there, there, and around here as well. So that one's pretty good. Then the next level looks pretty good as well. It touches our resistance line pretty good consistently throughout the chart. Then our next level right here, we can see the stock pulled back right to it and got rejected over here as well. Another thing that you can use to help you with knowing if your support and resistance lines are valid is that you can look at the RSI. If we look at the RSI in comparison to our support and resistance levels, we can see when the stock pulls back to support, the RSI is starting to become oversold. Right here, it's actually oversold. And as it pushes up to our resistance, it becomes overbought. So it does work in correlation well with the RSI, and this is a really good indicator to use along with support and resistance. When you're trading with support and resistance, you want to be buying around support and selling as it's reaching resistance areas. And when it breaks above, that's another sign to go long, because now it's above the resistance line and it has more room to go up. Another example that I have is on CHGG. So right here we have CHGG. There's no price action really happening to the left of this, so I'm just going to focus on this key area. So the first one I see is right around here. We can see that's a swing low. This next area is a swing high. Then I see a clear area up here where the stock forms a double top. A double top is a bearish pattern, so we can see it hits resistance, hits it again, and now the price fell. Another area is up here, and we also can have one right at all-time highs, as that can act as resistance as well. So I'm looking at my first line, and as I said before, there's only one touch, so the bottom line is perfectly fine. Then as we move to this second one, we can see that it gets rejected right here at the start. Then around here it starts to chop through, but it's still holding up as support around here. So this one doesn't need too much adjusting. The stock price isn't gonna always touch exactly on your support line and hit exactly on your resistance line. You wanna treat these lines as areas of support, areas of resistance. And this will give you still a good understanding on when to buy and sell the stock. This next resistance line up here can be moved down just a little bit more. So I'm gonna touch it right there. And then if we zoom in a little bit closer up here, we can see that this support line looks pretty good. When the stock pulled back, it pulled back right to the line, and this is still valid, as well as the all-time high one. So the last example I wanna go over is QDEL. Right here we have QDEL, and I wanna start by marking out those key areas as I said before. So we can see the bottom of QDEL right around here. Then I see another area right here. And then there's also a swing high on QDEL right here as well. And I see another one right around here where it forms another double top right here and here. So as you can see, I don't try to mark out every little swing low, swing high that's on the stock. You just want to mark out the ones that stick out and stick to looking at the bigger picture. Now if we go back and adjust these lines, we can see that the bottom line can be moved up just a little bit so it touches right there. The second line as well, we can see that it can be moved down just a little bit so that this lands right on the line, this wick lands right on the line, and we have this area right there as well. So this second line looks pretty good. As we move to the third line, we can see that this one holds up pretty well. It does kind of cut through the candlestick right over here, but we can see that these wicks are touching the line, as well as right there, here as well, and back here it acted as support. And as we go up to the higher one, we can see that this one is also pretty good. And this is exactly what I do when I'm marking out support and resistance. Having these key levels plotted on your chart, as I said before, makes it very easy to trade. And as a beginner, you definitely need support and resistance to gauge whether or not you should be hopping into a stock, as well as using the RSI along with these lines. As you guys can see, using support and resistance can help you better time your entries, and using it along with the RSI and MACD will make you a better trader. If you learned anything from this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and turn on post notifications so you don't miss when I upload. See you in the next one.